because more than 3,200 police officers were killed in 5th of August 2020 during the July-August terror. And in 5th of August 2024, you can see police's body are hanging upside down in different flyovers. This is not acceptable. Bangladesh police was the first police force who stood beside us during the War of Independence. The first police force who stood beside us for that. They are now facing the consequences. I also want to raise one more concern. Bangladesh authority has recently taken a decision to issue passport to all Rohingya without any kind of verification and proper recording. This will become a global security threat. You can understand the ARSA and RSO, they are highly getting trained within the border with the help of Bangladesh military also. Soon they will export terrorism all over the world. You can see in Malaysia more than 36 terrorists were exported from Bangladesh. This is a matter of concern, but still today I am not hopeless, because I can see it. Our youth are uprising again. This is okay. Our youth are uprising again. They are coming. The dream we had, it broke, it became nightmare now, but they are breaking out of the nightmare. They will come in front, they will stand shoulder to shoulder with Sheikh Hasina. I am sure about this. This is not just a Sheikh Hasina, our leader has promised she will go by end of this December. This is not just a homecoming. This is a unification of 170 million Bangladeshis staying over there. They all will stand together. I remember during the 7th March speech of Bangabandhu Sheikh Rahman, Kaife Azmi wrote, how many people you will put handcuff on? We have 70 million. How many people you will put how many people will hang? We have 70 million. I am telling you, when our Prime Minister, our former Prime Minister and our party president will go back to Bangladesh, you will see, I think you all will write how many mouths you will try to shut. They tried to shut our mouth for the last few days. How many mouths you will try to shut? We have 170 million. How many people you will prison? We have 170 million. How many people you will hang? We have 170 million. One homecoming will unite all 170 million Bangladeshi all over Bangladesh, and they all will stand shoulder to shoulder with Sheikh Hasina. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu, Joy to Deshratna Sheikh Hasina.
Thank you very much. I would request Anil. Okay, Anil. Can't you hear me? Anil? Mike, Anil? Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay, Anil, I would like that portion of yours to be quiet in that side, please. I want quietness. I don't want disturbance. Now we are reaching to a very crucial moment. Please be quiet, okay? So now I will call Mr. Mohibul Hassan Chaudhry, Chaudhry Nofal, former minister, please to address the gathering. Thank you.
Thank you. Distinguished guests, journalists, Honorable President of Foreign Correspondents Club, thank you for the opportunity to address today's esteemed gathering. Today, while we appear before you in New Delhi, our hearts are with the people of Bangladesh. Our leader, President of Bangladesh Awami League, who has served the nation as Prime Minister for 20 years in 4 terms, will address this event. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks 2 years since the violent ouster of our government in Bangladesh. And many of you are aware, a lot has happened over the last 2 years and the months leading to August 2024. When the uprising against our government began, our young people were told prosperity have been replaced with poverty. Justice have been replaced with revenge. Ladies and gentlemen, today, through our leaders' address and presence, we urge our citizens, we cannot continue on this divisive and destructive path. It is time we chase unity over division, harmony over hatred, dialogue over confrontation, and justice guided by rule of law, not revenge. Ladies and gentlemen, today, across Bangladesh, millions of our citizens are struggling with high inflation and unemployment. Opportunities for young people are shrinking. Violence against women and children, journalists, lawyers, business people, and ethnic and religious minorities continue unabated. Anarchy and chaos rule society, not politics. It is, and this must change. Too much has been lost, too many lives are affected. We, as a political party, believe democracy and economy to thrive, an inclusive political polity must be established. It is in that spirit our leader Sheikh Hasina has expressed her desire to return to Bangladesh. Her and our party's objective is not to seek revenge, but fair justice and harmony. We seek a Bangladesh where political differences are resolved through democratic dialogue, where every citizen will enjoy rights under the law. Ladies and gentlemen, as a political party that has served Bangladesh for decades, we recognize no government is without shortcomings. We recognize and acknowledge leadership requires humility, accountability, and the courage to learn from success as well as failure. We remain committed to building upon our success while acknowledging where we could have done better and where we have at times failed. We seek no special privilege. We seek only the restoration of equal constitutional and democratic rights for every citizen and every political party in Bangladesh. We respectfully call upon every constitutional institution of Bangladesh to uphold their responsibilities with fairness, neutrality, professionalism, and fidelity to the rule of law. To the young people of Bangladesh, we say, your dreams matter, your aspirations matter, your future matters. You deserve a Bangladesh where you can study, work, innovate, and prosper without fear, discrimination, or political division. Ladies and gentlemen, our plea to all the friends of Bangladesh and international stakeholders is that they ought to facilitate an inclusive political atmosphere and not support the extreme elements who are continuing violence in Bangladesh and who are institutionalizing religious extremism in Bangladesh. We find the veiled extremists are often touted as liberals by certain stakeholders, and we urge to end this duality. To our people we urge, let us come together, not as opponents, but as one nation. Let us reject the politics of hate and embrace the politics of hope. Let us replace division with unity, fear with confidence, exclusion with participation, and vengeance with justice. And let us see this homecoming of Sheikh Hasina as a chance to heal and hope and not fight and fall. We believe together we can rise again, learn from past and progress into future. But if we don't now, if we don't, grave and worse future awaits us. We cannot let Bangladesh become a failed state. If the extremists and the fanatics are pampered and patronized, this future generation shall suffer for perpetuity. May we stand and heal together and defeat the dark forces. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu.
Thank you very much for your point of view, and I would request Mr. Aminul Haq, Polish, if you are still with us, if you can come for 2 minutes only, please, just 2 minutes, but slow if you can. Otherwise, I have to go to the second speaker. Please, thank you.
Am I listening? Yeah. Am I audible now? Hello? Hello? Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay, so let me wrap up in this way. So there are several current incidents that indicate that like Islamic terrorists and the militants are directly active in the field. Still, government is denying the fact, and it doesn't start overnight. It starts right after 5th August 2024. Militant leaders have been bailed and released. They came to the public sphere. They have become active again. The UNIS regime didn't take any sort of initiative to tackle that tackle that terrorism issues. And that is still going on. So I urge to international community so that they can come forward to look into the issue, because terrorism never confined into a national border. If Bangladesh, the terrorism cell active that much that are currently visible in the field, so that will impact not only Bangladesh but also our regional security, as well as the Bay of Bengal, our maritime road, our business, investment, everything. So my urge to the international community and the journalists to look into the issue, because Bangladeshi media is not speaking in line, and the authority is in denial mode about the resurgence of militancy in Bangladesh that we successfully combat in 16 years of Awami League government under the leadership of Sheikh Hasina. Government is planning to dissolve like CTTC, ATU. They are the fundamental backbone of countering terrorism. So these things are happening in Bangladesh. We need international community attention in this matter. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
May I now request the key speaker, Mr. Sajeeb Wajid Joy, former ICT advisor to the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. Please speak slow and soft so we can hear you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Awad, for the kind introduction. Thank you as well for the National Press Club for hosting this event. Honored to be here today. You've heard the other speakers speak a little bit about what is happening in Bangladesh and what has happened. I want to bring a few things to everyone's attention, and this is something I believe that the international community needs to focus on. First of all, you have heard the refrain again and again that about the deaths during the July-August protests of 2024. Here is what no one is talking about. You have various counts on the numbers. You have the UN number of 1,400, whereas the government number is 800 something. Who are these additional 600 people? Where did the UN get those names? Our party has written to the UN, our lawyers have written to the UN again and again, and to date the UN has not provided any names. But more importantly, the UN only covers a period up to August 15th of 2024. But we know that the deaths continued. And what is most alarming, and this is something that I believe that the press, the international press, should really, really pay attention to. You see, the UNIS regime, one of the first things they did was pass an ordinance which became law called the Indemnity Bill, indemnifying all the protesters, everyone, blanket immunity, protecting them from any prosecution for any killings. That includes killings of civilians, that includes killings of our party members, and that includes killings of police officers. To date, the BNP government that is in power, they have ratified this ordinance, turned it into law, and this continues, which means that none of the police killings, we still don't know exactly the number of police deaths, none of the police killings can be prosecuted. So my question to you is this: are killings okay? Are killings acceptable? if you can have blanket immunity for protesters to kill police officers, to kill civilians, to kill Awami League members and leaders, then why blame anybody? Then why blame anybody? That is the first issue I would like to focus on, the indemnity. I think this is something that has not been paid attention to. This is unprecedented. How can you have blanket legal protection for killings by anyone, especially killings of police officers? This is unprecedented. This is completely against all human rights, against all norms of decency. Secondly, what you have had since August of 2024, you have had thousands, tens of thousands of people behind bars, which are all now, on one hand, most of them, many of them are Awami League members and leaders. Most of them are being held without any trial, without any due process, without any bail. Many of them are elderly, in their 80s. Their health is failing. Many of them have died in police custody. Not only that, killings in police custody have continued. We have documented them. We have put them up on our websites, on our Facebook pages, full list of names, exactly when, which prison they died, under whose custody. Most of them were young. They had no reason to die. They were all killed extrajudicially by the Yunus regime, and those killings continue even today. Outside of the prisons, during the Yunus regime, and even now, our party members are being hunted down and killed. Every few weeks, someone is killed somewhere. There is no due process. The police do not take any action, and the government protects these killers. So political killing in Bangladesh since August of 2024 has been legalized. This is Bangladesh today. And if any killings are legal, then why blame the Awami League at all? And finally, since 2024, not only Awami League members and leaders that have been behind bars, but anyone sympathetic to the Awami League. This includes journalists and businessmen, especially journalists, editors, owners of newspapers and television channels who were seen as pro-Awami League, have been behind bars for over 2 years now. You are the press club. Imagine if half of you, your members, your journalists, your editors, your media owners were held behind bars without bail, without due process, without charges, without trial for an indefinite period of time. Can that be imagined in any country? Is that possible in any country? Is that legal in any way? That is a gross, gross violation of human rights, of freedom of speech. And this is something I believe that should certainly alarm the international media community. This is what's happening in Bangladesh. So Bangladesh today is a failed state. It's not a failing state. It is a failed state. There is no human rights. There is no freedom of speech. Even prior to this event, intelligence services went to the headquarters and offices of every major media outlet, every major newspaper, and instructed them clearly not to rebroadcast this event, not just to rebroadcast this event, but not to provide any coverage from any international media on this event. They're not allowed to share links from foreign media on their websites. Any journalists that were seen as still sympathetic to our government or against this government, many of them were fired even in the last couple of days. This is what's happening in Bangladesh. And what is the future? What does the future hold? There is no law and order. There is no constitution in Bangladesh today. What should concern India most is Bangladesh has become another Pakistan on India's eastern side. You have another Pakistan today on your eastern front. Foreign intelligence services, especially ISI, has an open hand. Militants, hundreds of convicted terrorists that our Awami League government arrested and convicted and put behind bars, have been released from prison. Hizb ut-Tahrir marches openly. Al-Qaeda operatives speak at public rallies. This is what is happening in Bangladesh. And this does not portend well for India and the world at large. In the future, the next set of terrorists globally are going to be coming from Bangladesh, unless this is stopped now. And where it has to begin is from the media, especially you in India. You are the world's largest democracy. Your media has reach. You cannot take this as a sensational story only when something sensational, headline-worthy happens. This is something you have to cover every day. This is something that you have to raise international awareness of. If you raise it, the international media will pick it up. If the international media covers it, it will come to the attention of international leaders. That is what needs to be done. If that is not done, then Bangladesh's future is bleak. India's future security is bleak. As to what the future holds, who knows? But right now, this is the future. The Constitution doesn't exist. Even if we hope that in 4 years there will be an election in Bangladesh, who knows what form it'll take. The BNP, running unopposed, has a 2/3 majority. They can amend the Constitution however they want and ensure that the elections are set up just like the Yunus regime did, so that the BNP wins. What you have now is not justice. You've heard our former Minister Naufel talk about this. What is happening is not justice. What is happening is political exclusion of the opposition, of the largest political party in Bangladesh, in order to grab and hold on to power. That is what is happening in Bangladesh. This is democratic and electoral manipulation. That is all it is. The BNP knows that the Awami League is allowed to speak freely. People of Bangladesh are not happy right now. The economy has collapsed in the last 2 years under the corruption of the Yunus regime, and that corruption continues today under their economic mismanagement, both under the Yunus regime and the current regime. Bangladesh is on the verge of total collapse. In a few more years, the economy will have collapsed and Bangladesh will turn into a rogue state. The time to act is now. And I urge you, the place to start is in the media. We need you to bring the world's attention to this. With that, I conclude my speech. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Awad and the National Press Club for hosting us. Joy Bangla.
Wajid, but I would request you to stay online with us because there will be questions raised by the colleagues around. So please stay with us till we have the Honorable President of the Awami League, Mr.
Certainly,
Sheikh.
I will stay online to answer questions.
Yes,
Thank
please. But then let me get her online, and then we will take her point of view, audio only. She's been with us, and Honorable former Prime Minister. Could you please take the mic, the floor?
Thank you very much. It's a great honor for me to be with you. Thank you, and thank you for everybody who present here or who are listening. Distinguished journalists, members of the Foreign Correspondents Club of South Asia, respected guests, friends of Bangladesh, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I thank the Foreign Correspondents Club of South Asia for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. I also thank the journalists who continue to follow events in Bangladesh with seriousness and courage. Journalism has a duty to seek truth, especially when power tries to hide it. In difficult moments of history, that duty becomes even more important. Today, I speak not only as someone who had the honor of serving Bangladesh 5 times as a Prime Minister, but also as the daughter of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. I speak as someone who has spent her life with the people of Bangladesh. I was forced away from my country, but I was never separated from my people. Before I speak about the present crisis, I pay my deepest homage to the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, to the Saline national leaders, and to the 3 million martyrs of our war of liberation. I also remember with profound grief and members of my own family, whom I lost on 15th August 1975. Today is also the birthday of my beloved brother Sheikh Kamal, who was 2 years younger than me. He was a valiant freedom fighter, a youth leader, a sports organizer, and a cultural activist. His life represented the courage, creativity, and patriotism of the young generation of Bangladesh. I remember him today with deep love, pain, and pride. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 2 years, I watched my beloved Bangladesh suffer. Fear has entered homes, workplaces, and campuses. This is not the Bangladesh we built. This is not the Bangladesh for which 3 million people sacrificed their lives in 1971. Let me begin with the truth about July and August 2024. It was not a peaceful student movement. From the beginning, my government tried to resolve the issue.
कब्ज हेलो हेलो देख रहे हो कैसे बादल जैसे लाइट लाइट एकदम फ्रेश और एक्टिव लग रहा हूं इसका राज है कब्ज से रातों रात राहत थैंक यू झंडू नित्यम
जी हाँ 93% उपभोक्ताओं को झंडू नित्यम से मिला आराम। इसका असर है क्लिनिकली प्रूवेन। इसके आयुर्वेदिक तत्व जैसे स्वर्णपत्री और हरितकी, यष्टि मधु और सौंफ, एरंड तेल और सांचल कब्ज के साथ लक्षणों की करें छुट्टी, जैसे अधूरा पेट साफ, गैस और एसिडिटी।
अब नो मोर रोज रोज कब्ज से कुश्ती, मिले कब्ज से मुक्ति। लेना झंडू नित्यम पक्का टुनाइट।
झंडू नित्यम अब हर सुबह हो लाइट, एक्टिव और ताजा।
The Prime Minister's residence. 3 ministers also held discussions with them. A quota reform movement was turned into a one-point demand for my resignation. False propaganda was spread in a planned way. Genuine students were emotionally manipulated, while organized groups used their movement as cover for violence and violence and regime change. Muhammad Yunus himself said this was a meticulously designed movement led by a mastermind. His own words expose the truth. It was not simply a spontaneous student protest. There was no visible or responsible leadership. Instructions were given invisibly. It was organized, directed, and used to create a path to power outside the ballot box. From July 15th, the character of the movement changed. Killings, arson, attacks, and looting began. State property was destroyed. Bangladesh television was attacked and set on fire. So was different buildings like Setu Bhavan, the Directorate General of Health Services, the EPI vaccination program building, Farmgate Metro Rail Station, flyover, Mohakali Elevator Expressway, science research facilities, the Disaster Management Office, a national database center, a COVID-19 special hospital, Bangladesh Medical University, residential hotels, industrial facilities, businesses, prisons, and including Noshingdi and other district jails were attacked, vandalized, or burned. All the terrorists, criminals were released. Awami League offices were vandalized across the country. Leaders and workers were attacked and killed. Homes of ministers and senior figures associated with my government were looted and burned. The media was also targeted. Nearly 50 media center, private television stations, and newspaper offices were attacked or set on fire. Journalists were killed. Law enforcement agencies came under organized attack. Police, Sepai, the other officers were killed and their bodies were hung from flyover. Around 460 police stations were outposted or set on fire, and in some, personnel were trapped inside buildings and burnt alive. Weapons were looted. Officers were beaten to death. According to persecuted police members, at least 3,000 personnel were killed, attacked, tortured, or subjected to serious violence. So, I ask a simple question. In such a situation, what is the duty of law enforcement? When police stations are burned, government buildings are attacked, public infrastructure is destroyed, officers are killed, and weapons are looted, does the state have no duty to protect life and property? In every country, law enforcement has a responsibility to protect citizens, state institutions, and their own lives. This is not a crime. That is the duty entrusted to them by law. At the same time, I wanted the truth to be known. That is why I formed a Judicial Inquiry Commission on 18th July 2024. Its purpose was clear. Every casualty had to be investigated. Every incident of violence had to be examined, and every family deserved to know the truth. I met victims' families, visited the injured, and instructed the authorities to provide the highest level of medical treatment free of cost. And on 1st August I strengthened the inquiry into a three-member commission so that the investigation would be credible and comprehensive. But after seizing power, the illegal interim government led by Mohammad Yunus stopped the investigation. They did not allow the truth to come out. They gave indemnity to those who involved in the killings. If they truly wanted justice, why did they stop the inquiry? If they had nothing to hide, why protect the killers? That one decision tells the truth. They did not want justice, they wanted power. They did not want investigation, they wanted the evidences buried. Their own words expose the truth. An NCP leader said revolution would not have succeeded if police had not been killed and the metro rail had not been set on fire. A BNP leader in Sirajganj also said publicly that Enayatpur police station was burned and police were killed to make the revolution succeed. These statements show that the July-August movement was not merely a quota reform movement. It became a coordinated assault on constitutional order driven by hidden instruction, organized violence, and propaganda. The conspiracy did not end on 5th August. After 5th August, violence became a campaign of political persecution. The killing that began on 16 July with the murder of Shobuz Ali, a Dhaka college student and student league activist, has not stopped. Awami League leaders and workers are being killed, disappeared, arrested, driven from their homes and buried under false cases. At least 10,000 have been killed or disappeared. Around 650,000 have been arrested over the last 2 years. Around 3,500 cases have been filed. Namely, nearly 450,000 leaders, workers, and supporters are accused. More than 1 million others have been as unnamed accused. Against me, more than 600 cases has been filed. Women activists of Chhatro League, student organization, youth league, other affiliated organizations are facing abuse, humiliation, torture,